Look at this hillside. This overlooks the Sea of Galilee. Back then, a massive crowd gathered right here to listen to a teacher named Jesus. The people sitting on the grass had their own playground rules. They were waiting for a tough leader to tell them how to defeat their enemies and get rich and take control. Jesus didn't give them a battle plan. He didn't tell them how to push their way to the front of the line. Instead, he gave them a set of rules that sounded completely backward. He introduced what we call the upside-down kingdom. If the normal world puts the rich, the powerful, and the bullies at the very top, Jesus flipped the whole pyramid. He changed the definition of what it means to be a hero. Jesus started his talk by describing who gets to be truly, deeply happy, the kind of joy that stays with you forever. He called these promises the Beatitudes. Look at this split screen. The world says you get happiness from collecting treasure or wearing crowns. But Jesus pointed to a different joy, the kind belonging to peacemakers, people who show mercy, and those choosing the right path. If you are a kid, you might think you're too small to be a world-changing peacemaker. To help the crowd understand their power, Jesus pointed to two everyday things: salt and light. Think about it. It only takes a tiny pinch of salt to change the flavor of a giant plate of food. And if you are in a pitch-black room, it only takes one tiny nightlight to defeat a whole room full of darkness. You don't have to be the biggest or loudest person to make an impact. Your small acts of kindness act as the salt and the light. They change the entire environment around you. But living this way isn't always easy. In fact, Jesus gave them one rule that is incredibly hard to follow, especially if you are dealing with a bully. The old rule was an eye for an eye, meaning if someone is mean to you, you have the right to be mean right back. Jesus gave that rule a massive upgrade. We call it the golden rule. He said we should treat other people exactly how we want to be treated, and he took it a step further. He asked his followers to choose to forgive and even love the people who are mean to them, instead of trying to get revenge. Choosing to love your enemies shows that you belong to this new kingdom. You are acting with the heart of God. To finish his speech, Jesus told a story about two builders. It is a test to see how we will actually use his upside-down rules in our own lives. Look at this cross-section. A house on soft sand represents worldly playground rules, like being the toughest kid. The second house on solid rock represents Jesus's rules: peace, mercy, and love. When a storm hits, the sand house collapses, but the rock stands perfectly strong. You don't have to wait until you grow up to be a hero. Every single time you choose to share, forgive someone, or make peace, you are building your life on solid rock. You are bringing the upside-down kingdom right to your own playground today.